Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we're going to play with the entire lineup of my electric grinders. So we will compare niche with Eureka Oro with, as they call it in UK, Solo or DF64 or Turin or whatever. Many names for the same grinder. So we're going to pull 3 shots on a descent. And at the end of this show, hopefully I will be able to make decision which one of those grinders should I sell. So first, niche 0, the lightest of those grinders and the only grinder here that has a conical burrs, 63 millimeters stainless steel conical burrs. I think it's a Mother burrs. This is an icon now. It's been around for what, 4 or 5 years. Everybody knows niche. Some people like it, some people hate it. Most people like it than hate it, but everybody knows niche. Straight out of the box, the easiest grinder to use. You can see exactly on the wheel, you can see exactly where you are. You can kind of guess where you should be for the Espresso. You can kind of guess where you should be for the filter and so on. The switch on the side, nice dosing cup, nice wooden stand. What I really like about niche is, if you can see behind, there are so many wires. I mean, not many of you might have 3 or 4 grinders, yeah, but niche is the only one of those 3 that you can actually hide the electric wire, the cable, inside. The rest, they are sticking outside, and there are long cables, which is good, but they create the mess, as you can see. Niche got a DC motor with 350 watts of power, and RPM is 330. Eureka Oro, probably the most controversial grinder here. I know I've recorded videos, some of them praising this grinder, some of them criticizing. I mean, I would like to say that I still really like the look of this grinder. It's really presentable. I like the sharp corners. Obviously it follows into the line of Eureka grinders. Nice golden accents, wooden top, wooden bottom, and the dosing cup. So this one, it's kind of obvious when you see next to niche and Solo. This was designed to be the direct competition for both of them. Is it a niche killer? Is it a Solo killer? Well, not necessarily, but it's a very good grinder with few flaws. This grinder has got an AC motor, the only one of those 3 that got an AC motor. Power 320 watts and RPM 1650, if I remember correctly. It's also the heaviest, 7.2 kg. Niche, it's 4.2 kg, and the Solo, it's below 7 kg, so I think 6.8 or so. Size-wise, probably equal to Solo, slightly bulkier and small, and obviously bigger than the niche. You've got that blower, which niche is missing. So for the niche, I have to use this ugly looking tool to blow the some of the coffee residue. This one's got a blower on top, but it's not the most efficient blower. Some people criticize the workflow. I actually like the workflow on the Oro. So you drop the beans inside, you open the chute, the beans go in, then you close the chute, you wait, and then at the end you use the blower. The switch is on the side. This one I'm not necessarily a fan of. Maybe if it was here instead of here, or maybe at the front, that would be better. But it is what it is. To adjust the grinder, you have to use the knob, and it's bigger than in a Specialita. I had a Specialita before. There is a video when I compare those two. if you're interested. So the knob itself is bigger, but the numbers are on the side instead of being on top like they were in, on a Specialita. And on a Specialita there were white numbers clearly visible. Here there are golden numbers, so it's more difficult to see where you are. But the numbers are meaningless because you can do multiple rotations for this, to adjust this grinder. If you want to make a big adjustments, you have to rotate multiple times, which can create some issues. I talked about it before. At the moment, well, the grinder comes set in an espresso zone, so this is mostly an espresso grinder. They say you can grind for everything, from Turkish to pour over. I don't agree with the pour over. I mean, it creates a beverage, but not the best pour over I've ever had. And also what we have to mention here is that vibration, that infamous vibration. So every grinder vibrates a little bit. This one vibrates a lot, okay? Especially on the, let's say, pour over range, you can really experience this vibration. Sometimes the vibration was even so strong that was rotating the knob itself. But for the espresso, it's great. It's 65 millimeters stainless steel burrs with a diamond inside. So, and next to it is Solo, the cheapest grinder of them all here. So niche, at least in UK, niche and Oro are the same price, about £500. Solo in UK, I paid £400. And you can kind of see where they cut the corners. So I strongly recommend to get some mods for this grinder. If you can see, I put the grind indicator, I put the anti-popcorning thing inside, and I also put that 3D printed stand that brings the dosing cup closer to the shoot. Again, DC motor with 250 watts of power, 1400 RPMs. You have to use the switch here, which some people complain about. For me, it works okay. Without that grind indicator, knowing where you are would be difficult, especially that where the zero is on the scale, it's not the zero for the grinder. So my zero comes somewhere around here. That's where the burrs are touching. But with the grind indicator, you can kind of adjust it easily. What I really like about this grinder, because it got the 64 millimeter burrs, Itamill 64 millimeter burrs, they are popular burrs. So there are many companies that make those burrs. So you can easily open and change the burrs for let's say SSP burrs. That's what I'm planning to do at some point. And then it changes that grinder into something completely different, obviously more expensive, but something that it's, well, almost like option O P64, well, almost. I will be using the default profile. It starts with the pre-infusion for a few seconds, so that goes up to 4 bars of pressure, then up to day 9, about 8.89 bars, and then slowly ramps down. We will be aiming for 40 seconds at least. Okay, so I would like to see the shots at least 40 seconds long. I'm going to use 18 grams of coffee for each shot, and I want 36 grams of liquid. What I really like about this is that it connects with my Bluetooth scale, so I set it up at the weight that I want to have, and the machine automatically stops when we reach that 36 grams, so I don't have to worry much about timing my shots, and I will also obviously see the time on the screen as well. But let's pull those shots, yeah? I want coffee, you want to see the results. Let's make something, okay? It's a niche 18.1 gram of coffee. You open it, put the coffee in, lock it, It took about 14, 15 seconds to grind that 18.1. Let's check. Okay, we've got 17.7. Now the blower. And there's also a little bit here. And 18.1. Now 18.1 for Oro. So niche, as you could hear, very quiet because of that low RPM. So you put it in, you turn the motor on. Okay, so by itself the sound is okay, yeah? And now you lock it. So 10 seconds it took. Obviously the highest RPM. I will try one more time. 17.9, so we lost 0.2. Yeah, sometimes I get zero retention on a Oro. Sometimes I get that 0.1, 0.2 loss. Sometimes I get some extra. 18.1. You open it. So the blower on the Oro, it's okay, looks okay, but it's not the strongest, so it could be better, okay? This blower could be better. So I would say that solo is the loudest of them all. Okay, 13, 14 seconds. Okay, without the blower, 60.9. 18.1. Just for today, just because we want to compare it precisely as possible, I will add 2 extra beans of coffee to Eureka Oro. So it's exactly 18.1. First shot, let's do the niche. My God, so much crema in that shot. With this shot we got 44 seconds. Shot looks pretty much as it should. The extraction, the brown line and the water is about even. There was some jump at the end. The coffee, again, we're using Hambella coffee from Good Life's coffee. Fruity, rich, fruity, naturally processed coffee. Smells wonderful. I lost my spoon somewhere. So I'm getting that deep chocolatey flavor, very thick shot, so the texture is wonderful. Probably a little bit too much bitterness. I mean, it's still very, very drinkable, very, very good. But it's now I'm getting some sweetness. That fruitiness we kind of lost in this shot, that fruitiness. I mean, it's still there on the background somewhere, but we lost it. But overall, this shot, it's amazing. That fruitiness is on the background, okay? For my liking, well, depends on the day. Yes, sometimes I like more chocolatey flavors. Sometimes I like fruity flavors. Today, I think today is my fruity day. I'm recording it a day after my birthday, so today is my fruity day. But awesome, so good. Okay, I have to cannot finish all of that because there are 3 shots in a row that could mess me up. But so the texture great, the clarity could be a little bit better, but overall very, very good shot. Slightly too bitter. So that's the second shot from Oro. The first one was slightly too fast. And again, with this shot, again, I lost 0.2 grams. Hopefully we will reach the target. Well, it looks amazing. It took 42 seconds. Extraction, as you can see, not as straight as with niche. but it's also not so bad. With the niche, it was almost even the water flow. Here, there are some differences, but 42 seconds, I will take that shot, and the shot looks awesome. So the second shot from Oro. It actually, you know what? I'm actually getting better fragrances than from the niche. Kind of an almondy sweetness, maybe some vanilla. I'm getting more of that, less chocolatey, more of the winey flavors. So that sourness now, the fruitiness is more pronounced. The texture is still perfect. So it's less bitter, this shot, less chocolatey and more fruity. There is still chocolatey flavors there, but the first notes is the maybe plum juice, prune juice, maybe some like raisins. Oh, I have to say this shot hits the mark. Okay, this shot I like more than the shot from the niche. Not like the niche was bad, but this brings the more flavor notes. So I'm getting more, I wouldn't necessarily call it clarity, but more flavors, okay? While in niche, at least in that shot that I pull, was chocolate, little bit of candied fruit or whatever, the little bit at the end. Here, the fruitiness and all of that winey flavors, and then in the background it complements the flavor is complemented by some chocolate. I'm already getting high on caffeine, and we still have we still have one more to go. Wow. Yes. So beautiful shot. Coffee, 41 seconds, 36 grams of coffee, and I would say nice and even. There was something going on with the pressure, so the machine was adjusting the pressure. As you can see, it's not like a perfect straight line, but otherwise a good shot. I can smell more raspberry than almonds, but the fragrance is less intense than from Eureka, but more intense than from niche. So, in terms of body, definitely the least amount of body in this shot. Okay, so niche, very creamy shot. Eureka, creamy as well. This one definitely thinner, the thinnest shot of them all. But that fruitiness, it's really present. So for the Eureka Oro, I would say the most flavors were in that range of alcohol flavors. So wine and overripe, little bit on the blackberries, not so much on the chocolate. On the niche, we are mostly in that dark chocolatey flavor range. Not so much of the anything else. And with the solo, I mean much less here, much less in the alcohol-ish flavors, but more towards blackberry, raspberry, blueberry, and prune definitely, and the pomegranate. Okay, so also very interesting flavors. But the price for those different flavors is lack of, well, much less body, and that you can feel it. But it's also probably the most interesting. The question is, which one is the best? And that's a difficult question. So niche, the most chocolatey. For today's shot, the body, the thickness, the silkiness of the shot was definitely the best on the niche, but the flavor wise it was the most boring shot I got today. It was a very good shot, and it would please everybody unless someone is looking for something more than a chocolate. Solo Solo was the fruitiest one, but also the thinnest one. So the most interesting shots I got from Solo today. Oro, kind of in between, okay? Probably closer to Solo than to Niche in terms of the flavors, but closer to Niche than Solo in terms of the body. So we're getting a nice thick shot, but also a fruity one, but not as fruity as this one. If I can recommend you to buy two grinders, I would take Niche and Solo, okay, because they are on two sides of the flavor spectrum. So you can experiment and you can explore what you really like in the coffee, and different coffees taste better on the different grinders as well. Today we went for the medium, so that's somewhere in the middle. The more fruity, the fruitiest coffees would probably be the best on the Solo, while like a kind of a deep medium dark coffees would be the best on the Niche. If you only go for a one, if you're only looking for the grinder for espresso, Oro could be a good choice. Which one I'm going to keep, which one I'm going to sell? I think I will be selling Oro. Even though for today's test it was, wow, it hit the spot really. I don't want to sell Niche, at least not yet, because that's the only electric conical grinder that I have. And I don't want to sell Solo because of that clarity, and I still have SSP burrs to install. I will put as many links as I can in the description, so you can check my other videos with those grinders. In the comments, please write what you think about those. If you tried any of those grinders, if you had a chance to compare any of those grinders, which one you like the most, if you had all three, which one you would keep, which one you would sell, and why. Guys, definitely click like and subscribe, don't forget about that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was fun for me, because I've never really, how many times you pull 3 shots from 3 different grinders and you test them at the same time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack, this is my coffee show. Click like, subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you, bye.